Hey, Shalom. Let me give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Shem Yahweh Shai, by Shem HaKakwadash, double honors to the apostles, and those great millstone, Shalom to hopefully elect. Alright, as you know, should know, Yahweh is the name of the Most High, by Hashem, in the name of his son, Yahweh Shai, whom the world ignorantly calls Jesus. Alright, which are the true, uh, powers, the one true God Most High and his son, Yahweh Shai, coming in the likeness of his father to do his father's will, right? And this is a video here that I'm going to go ahead and
Let's
play.
talk about the study that I'm going to be reviewing today. It's called the Democracy Perception Index for the year 2020.
Which we know that democracy goes back to a demonic rulership, all right? Because the way that they have this whole thing set up, man, is completely out of order. All right. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai is supposed to, dictate who rules and what goes down in the earth. All right, really, it tells you in the scriptures that uh the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. So the people that are supposed to be in power are the Israelites. All right. Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai's chosen people.
26. This is an end.
And what this demonic rulership entails is for Esau to be able to dictate whoever's put up in the power seat. All right. And they're very deceitful. They'll make you think that you have some kind of vote or have some kind of say, in an elected official or whatever. But at the end of the day, they're behind the scenes pulling all the strings. All right. They decide who's in power, who's in control. But at the end of the day, it's the elites that are in power, that are controlling everything, under the coming after the working and the power of Satan, you know, which that's what they worship, all these different rituals and all these different, you know, witchcrafts and evils that they do are all in sacrifices to Satan. All right. And that's who's controlling them, man. But at the Most High, of course, is the one, at the helm of everything. This is all prophecy. Esau, Edom is the man of sin. He's a
Annual survey.
He's being controlled by Satan to do all these things, but Yahweh Bashem Shai controls Satan. So at the end of the day, the Lord is the one that's doing all this to forward prophecy. It's prophecy that Esau, Edom would be the ruler of the world in the end. All right, that he would be the end of the world, I should say, and that he would deceive the nations. All right, which he's done.
Of dozens of countries around the world. One of the most interesting parts asked 24,000 people in 84 countries, which country do you think poses the greatest threat to the world? And the majority of people in countries all around the world said the United States, including in the US itself, which is very accurate. Americans recognize that the US is the biggest threat to the world. And in pretty much all of North America and Latin America, Eurasia, and most of Africa, people recognize that the US is the greatest threat to the world. People in a few countries in Europe said that Russia is the greatest threat. That's because of the proximity.
Blah blah blah. The point has been made. All right, people are waking up to the fact that America is a destructive, selfish, you know, greedy, evil force in the world. All right. And then on top of that, also, everybody waking up to the fact that the small hats are malicious and violent people. All they care about is forwarding their agenda. At the end of the day, that's all Esau cares about is forwarding his agenda of power. All right, because what does he want to do? He wants to be like the Most High and rule over the earth. All right. See, Isaiah 14:4. It says, let me see. So Isaiah 14:3, and it shall come to pass in the day that Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai shall give thee rest from thy sorrow, and from thy fear, and from the hard bondage wherein thou wast made to serve, that thou shalt take up this proverb against the king of Babylon, and say, how hath the oppressor ceased? The golden city ceased. All right. Which who is the oppressor? All right. Esau, Edom, but you know, through American policy, all right, has spread his wicked abominations throughout the entire world, man. Has spread his policy, all right, his conduct, his filthy conversation, all right, throughout the four corners of the earth. And anybody that doesn't want to bow down to his system, he goes to war with them. All right, he threatens them, he sanctions them, and those sanctions ain't nothing nice. All right, went around the world colonizing everybody. All right, and chiefly, you know, did what he did to you Israelites, man. All right, to us. At the end of the day, you know, that was the beginning of his wrath, was to take us down, was to subdue Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua's chosen people, all right, and keep us under his foot so that he could do whatever the hell he wants to do in the world, man. Because ultimately, he's trying to make his own way to get that blessing. It's Isaiah 14:5. Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua have broken the staff of the wicked and the scepter of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continual stroke. Right. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindereth. And this is what this was going to take place. All right, because the Lord is getting ready to destroy America. And this whole system is going to go down with it. All these nations are going to go down with it. All right. But all these nations are seeing and waking up to the fact that Esau Edom is the devil. So-called white man is the devil. All right. That man of sin that is being revealed. All right. Through the spirit of the prophets. All right. The men of the Lord. That's why we give double honors to Great Millstone, because or I should say apostles and elders of Great Millstone. We give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salaki about that. But because, our teachers have went through hell and back and still continue on in this word to be able to wake up the elect, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, of course. It's not of man. This is the spirit that is moving men, to do what they do. The prophets, the men of the Lord, to do what they do. All right. But you have to be able to see who your teachers are. It's Isaiah 14:7. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yeah, the fir trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon saying, since thou art laid down, no feller is come up against us. All right, because this devil is destroying the earth, man. Esau is destroying the earth, man. All right. because he can never have enough. He is, through his witchcraft and sorcery, all right, has gotten this technology on the left hand to be able to, you know, just tear down, suck the blood, just, harvest the earth's resources at a rate that, you know, is actually destroying the earth, man. This devil would destroy the earth if he was able to continue. All right, if Yahweh Bashim Yahushua didn't stop this guy, he would destroy the earth. It says, hell from beneath is moved for thee to meet thee at thy coming. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It have raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations. All right, so that's what you see. Everyone is starting. This is prophecy that all, you know, all they that bend the bow shall shoot at it. Everybody is recognizing who the problem is, man. Even America's own allies are like, whoa, why? Because they have this whole UN council and all that shit, but that's going to come to naught. That's all going to come to naught. And it is coming to naught. All right, because what does America do? America just, they'll go to these summits, they'll go to these, meetings, these UN council, United Nations councils, which that's all these nations that have made a league with Esau. And what do? They talk about things. They have a council with each other. And what does America do? America says, if America doesn't like what everybody agrees on, America goes, fuck that, I'm gonna do what I want to do. All right. It says, all they shall speak and say unto thee, art thou also become weak as we? Art thou become like unto us? Right? Because they see America's power, it's not what it used to be. It's waning. All right. America has waxen fat. All right. It's become full of itself. It's become lifted up with pride, and pride goeth before destruction. All right. It's become overtaken by, all this wickedness that, that's going on here. It says, thy pomp is brought down to the grave, and the noise of thy vials. The worm is spread under thee, and the worms cover thee. All right, because this place is falling apart. It's decaying. It's breaking down. All right, in every way, you could think of. And these people, there ain't no damn patriotism. All that spirit is dead. All that shit is dead. All right, there's like a small few, Edomites and bug outs that are all into America and all that shit. But the majority of people, even here in America, are like, man, this place is evil. This place is hell. It says, how art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer? Right? Because heaven is a condition that's played out on earth, heaven and hell, which Esau is getting ready to be, sent to hell, man. Which it's not that notion of hell, which goes back to the Hebrew, which is talking about the grave. It's a condition that's played out on earth. It's not some spiritual place where you burn forever. And there's demons poking you with pitchforks and stuff. That's not the case. See, Esau, especially these elites, have been living in their heaven. All right. Jake at the bottom, getting called all kinds of proverbs and bywords, being slaves, being trodden underfoot. And Esau having all the, the privileges and the best things in the world, having no damn care in the world. All right. And it says in the scriptures that, the nations have lived deliciously with her. All right, talking about America. So when it talks about how art thou fallen from heaven, you know, his rulership is being taken down. All right, he's losing his grip. All right, Esau, the curses are coming upon Esau. All right, it's the time of the Lord's judgment to destroy this devil for all the things that he's been doing in the earth, for all the wickedness he's been doing in the earth, especially what he's done to you so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. All right, see, how art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? All right, because this devil gonna go down, man, and he gonna be, hey, man, his judgment is gonna be the worst one in the kingdom of heaven. You know, these nuclear missiles, it tells you they're created to destroy the third part of men, to destroy Esau, man. That's his judgment. And then all the elites that try to hide, and they got these bunkers, these underground systems where they're gonna try to escape the Lord's judgment. All right, the Lord's actually going to have the elect grab his ass up. All right. It says, verse 13, for thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahweh Shem Shai. Right. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. All right. Meaning that he will rule over you Israelites, the chosen people, the ones that are supposed to be ruling the earth. Because it all goes back to that blessing, man. He's trying to find his own way to get that blessing. He's fighting against Yahweh Shem Shai, man. And that's why the Lord, what the heck? That's why the Lord's gonna give him the smoke that he wants. All right, Yahweh Shai is actually gonna come himself with the angels to destroy this devil, man. It says they're gonna fight against him. It talks about a war in heaven, man. All right, which that heaven is talking about in space. All right, out there in the clouds, in the sky. All right. And Yahweh Shai is gonna destroy his ass. Yahweh Shem Shai. All right. These things are real. This is the truth. This is what's happening. All right. This is the near future. It said, for thou hast said in thy heart, I will ascend into heaven. I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahweh Shem Shai. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. All right. And that's what he's doing through this technology, through AI. All right. Through all the Internet of Things. He's trying to link everything into one global system. All right. And ultimately, have everybody bow down and receive a physical mark within their flesh. All right. To submit to his image. All right. Which, what is his image? His image is all manner. He's the man of sin. Just think about it. All right. His world is a wicked ass world. It says, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see thee shall narrowly look upon thee and consider thee, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble, that did shake kingdoms, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners? All right. And that's what's happening. All right. Esau Edom is being narrowly looked upon, even by his own people, being narrowly looked upon. All right, despised. Hated. So that's why you see that's what's going on, man, and that's all through the spirit of Yahweh Shemel Shai. That's prophecy that these things will happen. You know, and especially the world waking up to these small hats, man, which it tells you the least of the flock shall draw them out. All right, because these small hats, they don't give a shit. They're gonna do whatever the fuck they want to do. They are the head tribe. That's Amalek. That's the head tribe of Esau, man. The elites, they're Amalek. All right, those are the ones that are sitting in the temple of God, showing themselves that they are God, meaning that they are a power. That they're the ones in the power seat for right now, because Yahweh Shem Shai is allowing them to be lifted up with all this pride so that he could destroy himself, man. The Lord is, just like Haman, got hung on the stocks that he built for Mordecai. The Lord is giving this guy all the rope he needs to hang himself with. And that's what he's doing. Because this guy's lifted up with pride. He thinks he could actually do this. But he knows what's coming, man. He knows he has a short time. That's why he's moving so quickly. That's why he's setting up all these data centers and doing the things that he's doing, man. All right, because the Lord is making this guy pick up his feet, man. All right, because these prophecies are coming to pass. That's why he wants to take us out of the way. So with that, hopefully it's edifying. I'm going to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shemel Shai, Bashem Rakakodash, double honor to the apostles, another great millstone, shalom to hopefully elect.